Oh, it's recording already. Somehow I set a timer, I didn't know. Well, hello everyone, this is Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet, and welcome to the Coke Bottle Room. Pop Bottle Room, I guess is what I should be calling it, because of trademark possible issues. I don't know. Let me move you a little closer. And turn you a little bit. Well, I don't know if that's helping. But anyway, we are here for a little chit chat. I haven't had a chit chat in a minute. We did the live on Tuesday for Nancy and I, and then there was the live on Wednesday for Boggy Creek. And now it is actually Thursday? Yes, today is actually Thursday. And I have stuff, just some stuff, not great amounts of stuff. So if you were in the live, if you watched the live on Tuesday, it was on my channel. Nancy's trying to get it on her channel, and she got the last minute or two. And the same with Billy's yesterday. I know I got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're working it. We're trying to figure that out. So I apologize that we're not getting it fully figured out yet, but we are working on it. I do have some things to show you, some things to discuss with you. So if you were on the live on Tuesday, you know that starting the first Tuesday of October for breast cancer awareness month. I almost said breast awareness month. Not quite the same, is it? Anyway, just let me bend over and reach things down here. I am starting Nancy. This was Nancy's idea. She wants to do a breast cancer awareness blanket / Barbie blanket because she's still into the Barbie stuff. And I'm talking about Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, my really good buddy, and my sister. And so she said, let's do this as a crochet along, or maybe a make along. I know there's a difference. It's not a set thing that you have to do, but we are doing a set thing. So we're going to do 25 squares. I'm going to do 25 squares. And they're about 8 inches, just under 8 inches. It worked out well for me because that gives me join space. We're using the, this is the first, like the blank square that we're going to do. And it is the Farmhouse Square. And I don't remember who it's by, but she will, Adore Crochet. I think that's what it is. Really an easy pattern, but look at how pretty it is. I mean, it's pretty just by itself, and so I really like that about this square. It's real easy to make. It's just basically 2 different stitches. I mean, there's a slip stitch to join, but there's a together double crochet and then double crochet, magic ring, or chain up the thing and make the circle. So really not hard at all. Really a pretty square, I think. I'm doing all of my squares like this in white, and it's going to go, we're going to alternate squares. So the first row is going to be 3 squares of the farmhouse and 2 squares of another design. And there'll be, so 2 designs the first week, 3 designs the second week. You get the gist. But on the 3rd week, the middle square, which should be this square, I do believe, is going to be a special square designed by Jaxie from Creations by Jax. She is such a great designer. So she has agreed to make us a special square for the center. So I'm real excited about that. So with this, all my squares are going to be, I want the border, the outline, the last, at least, like whatever the design is going to be pink on the ones that have a motif on them. And then the white. And I'm using Caron 1 pounder. Caron 1 pound. Obviously in the color white. Then the Motif Squares, I picked out a bunch of pinks. Way lots of pinks. I have some Craft Smart Value Pink. Very nice and bright. Trying to see if, and it's all acrylic. Everything is acrylic. And this one is called Neon Pink, which I might use a great deal of that because I really like it. But I really like this one too. Now this one is Super Saver, which we all know washes up and becomes very much softer, and it's called Pretty in Pink. I really love the brightness of that. I hope you can see how bright that is. Then I have this baby pink, and you got me. I don't know where the yarn ball is. I think this is a Dreamweaver yarn that I used to be able to get this whole big thing for $2 at that store, Mark's. And I feel like that would be a nice little dainty touch against some of those brighter pinks. And then this is Crafter's Secret. Big Idea from Hobby Lobby, and the color is Hot Rose. And then I picked this pink. I think I want to do this one as the join and the border, because I have it's a big roll. It is also the Dreamweaver yarn. It's called One Big Roll. It is 16 ounces, 867 yards of 100% acrylic, and that's all you get to know. I guess that's enough. So I'm thinking that for the most part, I'm probably going to use these bright colors and then kind of like offset the bright with the dark and the white, and maybe for a little bit of accent or contrast of all of that, use that light pink, throw it in there. I don't know that I'll use the Crafter's Secret, but if I need another yarn color of pink or need a lot of it, I pulled this one down. Since I was into the crates with the big balls of yarn, I thought, well, just in case, I'll grab that. Excuse me. So I have these yarns trying to live in this bag that they don't fit in. But I did get a little bit of a head start, and we told you on Tuesday's live, we were showing you the farmhouse in case you wanted to get a head start on it as well. At least get your colors picked out if you wanted to participate. I am really loving the Farmhouse Square. I have 4 of them made. I don't want this to fall over. There we go. I do have 4 of them made, and they do work up pretty quick. And you can chat and crochet at the same time. I am using my chocolate 6mm clover with this, Clover or More. That is my go-to hook. I love that hook. I don't love the brown color, but it's the hook that I like. Then I am, I can't show you this yet. That's for another day. I tested I was a pattern tester. We did do a little peek sneak, but I can't really talk about it yet. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm holding on to it until it's time. Then my knitted blanket for Knit Happens, my Double Dog Dare with, Laura at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. This is called the Chunky Fall Cuddler by Mama in a Stitch. And Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming Double Dog dared me to stop whining and about wanting to learn to knit and actually pick up some needles and do it. So she did, and I did, and this is the back, of course. Of course it would be the back. I have learned, so when I started knitting this, I had knitted one thing in my entire life, and it was a washcloth out of Dollar Tree cotton yarn. And it was supposed to be square, but it wasn't. And my good friend Nikki Boo she doesn't do videos anymore. Nikki, I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of your channel right now. I want to say Addicted to Yarn. That might be it. She was kind enough to try to teach me and Nancy and I and anybody else that wanted to when we were in Florida a few years ago, for Billy's Beaches. And that would be Billy the Crafty Floridian. There were 17 of us there. And she worked like a devil to teach us. Nancy caught on. I'm a little more dense, I guess. But I got it now. Well, I was only there for a couple days, and we were really busy. So there was a lot of stuff going on. There was only a short period of time to figure out the whole knitting thing. But I started this, and there's mistakes all throughout. So, but I have learned over the course of the blanket the difference between the knit and the purl. So I'm pretty happy about that. And we are on the, finishing side of the blanket at this time. Tomorrow I'm supposed to have another row of this done, this fillet stuff. I have made a mistake during the process of this fillet. I don't quite know what I did, so I don't know how to fix it, and I just kept going. If there's holes there, they're supposed to be, so it's okay. The holes don't line up, so I know I made a mistake. I think I knitted where I should have purled, or I don't know, didn't yarn over where I was supposed to, whatever, in a couple of spots on this section. But unless you really know what you're doing, which nobody that is going to see this blanket up close and personal knows what they're doing. So they won't know that I made mistakes, and it doesn't matter because it is such a soft and squishy blanket. And it's a beginner piece, you're going to have mistakes. And if I tore it out every time I made a mistake, I'd still be on row 1. And I wouldn't have learned a thing. I really and truly think that, because I couldn't tell the difference for a long time in the stitches coming off the hook or needle. They all looked bumpy to me, so it didn't really look different. But I mean, my tension isn't always the same. You can definitely see that, and I have a good enough eye now that I can see that as well. But it is, better on this half than it was on this half. And I really enjoy the process of knitting. I'm not real thrilled with this part. I have a really hard time keeping the stitches on the needles that they're supposed to be on, on the needle that it's supposed to be on, I guess is a better way to say it. When you're pulling the two together, it's harder than when you're knitting two together, or crocheting two together, I'll tell you that. Because they want to fall off. There's no hook to hold it on when I'm trying to pull that yarn through. So whatever. Oops, oh, there goes my label on the floor. I am making this out of this Yarn Bee Lots of Dots. This is the color Citrus Dew or something like that. Dewdrops. They don't carry this yarn anymore, which is really sad because it is a nice yarn. It's acrylic and it's a 5-weight, really soft and squishy, and it's not splitty. A lot of 5-weight, when you get to the bigger weights, they get real splitty sometimes, but it's not even splitty on the points. I mean, knitting needles have points. That would make it more splitty, right? But honestly, it's not bad. So I have more of this yarn, like sweater quantity, and starting November 3rd, I think, Laura is challenged me to make a sweater, and I bought the yarn. I showed it. I don't have it out here right now, but I showed it to you before. I got the hook, the needles, a 15 millimeter needle, size 19 millimeter needle. Numbers were 15 and 19. I don't know if it was a 19 millimeter needle or the number 19 needle, which if it's a number 19, it should be a 19 millimeter. That only makes sense, but it doesn't work that way. So I don't know if the needle, whatever, the thing is really big around. And you use a 6-weight yarn, which I did not have enough of the 6-weight yarn. So I had to do some yarn shopping, and which caused me to buy a lot more yarn than what I should have been buying. But that's okay, because I'm a yarn collector on top of a crocheter. So we're going to start that in October. You guys are going to just die when you see how much stuff I'm starting in October. What the heck am I thinking? But I'm loving this, and it should be done once we get done with a few rows of these filet, holy parts, then we go back to, I think, knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, purl, or knit one, purl two, I don't know. But that part will be, it's not, a real big blanket, so knitting across and purling across, I've gotten that pretty good, I think. Now where'd my bag go? Here it is. This is in a bag that Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too sent me. Totally love this little gnome bag. So far I have gone through, I'm on my 5th skein of the Lots of Dots, and it has, let me tell you how many yards. There are 110 yards, and I'm on my 5th skein. So I'm sure that I will get through 6, but I thought I was going to need like 9 or 12. So it's going, I won't go through that many skeins. So there might be enough for like a Chloe size sweater. If I get this sweater that we're going to start, if I figure it out and I can make it, then maybe I could make one for Chloe in like this kind of a color, real muted. I think she would like that, of the same sweater. It's supposed to be a crop sweater. Mine is not going to be a crop sweater because I'm not a 21-year-old kid. But my granddaughter is. So that's that project. That's two down. Plus I finished, a test pattern, which I can't show you. But I also finished my stained glass and polychromatic blanket from Jan and Alaskan Crafters Crochet Along, Make Along. I don't know why it's being so dark. I don't know. Is that better if I close the window? I don't think so. So anyway, I don't have the overhead light on. That's my problem. Hold on just a second. Well, that might be better if I turn the overhead light on. But I did make Bag O' Days Polychromatic Blanket, thanks to Jan and Alaskan Crafter and her challenge to make a stained glass blanket, and she had some patterns picked out to do it, and you had to have it done by the 30th of September. She needs a picture, and then you're in a drawing for a $50 gift card. And the whole idea is to make blankets for Boggy Creek. Wonderful, exciting, really great news is that during our live on Wednesday with Billy, our Boggy Creek live, that's Billy the Crafty Floridian, Nancy and I, some of the Boggy Creek ladies that work at Boggy Creek were there in the, in the live. They are going to, Kimmy, the one, I think she's in charge of crafts. I don't know, like this stuff. Anyway, Kimmy that works at Boggy Creek, she's one of the actual Boggy Creek ladies that we meet with when we delivered the blankets that we met with when we delivered the blankets last year. I think she will be there when we deliver the blankets again this year. She's going to be live with us. Isn't that exciting? I'm so excited about it. But she's going to be there live with us, I believe next week. We showed, people were sending in their blankets, their stained glass looking blankets, and they said they would definitely use all of the stained glass in one or two or however many cabins. There's 8 to 10 beds in a cabin, kids' beds in a cabin, and I think she said 8 to 10 or 10 to 12. Oh, now I don't want to misquote. 8 to 10 or 10 to 12. Kids' beds in a cabin, and they will definitely do up complete cabins with the stained glass look blankets. And we were so excited, and Jana's going to be so thrilled. She even said they'd send us pictures. So isn't that cool? I don't know when they'll do it, but when they have the opportunity, they will. So anyway, this is my polychromatic, and I did, obviously, I have worked with stained glass, actual glass in the past. I have some videos about it. It doesn't have to be black. The lead part of stained glass, There is, if you use actual lead, it's silver, and they can stain it with like a copper or a brass color or black, or you leave it silver. And then if you join with a foil, if you solder your glasses together, then, well, same things. You would use the same colors, and the solder would also be silver. So if you didn't do anything with it, so I'm pretending that this is like a copper or a brass. I don't know. Maybe brass would be a better way. I don't know, but it's tan, and the polychromatic, or the glass part, is like a camo in the browns. And I think the blanket turned out really pretty, and it meets the criteria, and hopefully some child will love it. I think an adult would love it because it's so neutral for on your couch. But I think it's in this bag. I used Big Twist in the color. Of course, I can't see the color. Yep. I really didn't want to have to open it and crinkle it even more, but in my world, crinkle means, I know it's loud. In my world, crinkle means playing with the yarn. Oh, the color is called Cream. I really do like this color, and I do like Big Twist yarn. So I used 1 and a partial. My blanket is like 40 by 40. And I used, this is the Dreamweaver yarn, and it comes in a 2-pack. Now that I emptied this, I can put this yarn away. Now that I show you this, I can put this yarn away. It comes in a 2-pack, so I used 3. There's 1 left here. I went into 3+. They're a little bit thinner, smaller skeins of yarn on the Dreamweaver. On this particular, you never knew what you were going to get as far as the size of the yarn goes, but these were 5-ounce skeins, and I used like 3+ a little, and it's, I'm going to say, a thinner 4, and they're 100% acrylic. They're kind of, I think those Dreamweaver yarns were Millen's of Red Heart, because I've perfectly matched some of the colors. So I did use 1+ skeins of the Big Twist. So that's how much yarn went into this. Now I can log these in my log of completed skeins, because there is 0 left, so then it counts. And I can put this in my bag of blankets to go to Boggy Creek when I go down there with Nancy. Oh, here's my big huge, I do have my big huge needles. Look at those things. They are 24-inch Knitter's Pride US 19 15mm. That's what I need for the knit sweater with the 6mm or 6 weight yarn. And if you were involved in the live again on Tuesday, we revealed a lot of stuff. Jaxie was there with us, and we kind of talked a little bit about the fact that Nan from Nan's Next Knots, who does Luck of the Draw, still isn't feeling up to doing videoing at this time. So she gave Jaxie and I permission to do a Boggy Creek edition, a limited edition Luck of the Draw. So start looking for that on October 5th. We're going to start the draw. It's kind of on the QT because I'm hoping Nancy does a video just to start us off. But Jax and I are going to film the pulling of the numbers together, and then we'll add that to individual videos on our own channels. We might do a couple of lives throughout the process, but the idea is that the last drawing, I think, will be January 15th to give us 14 weeks, if we counted correctly. And the idea is to make a Boggy Creek blanket. You can do whatever you want. Nan had a tutorial, and she told me who it was by, and then she sent me a text. And again, name escapes me, but it'll be linked in the description box below here for a tutorial for her pattern. Boggy Creek blankets are 35 to 40 wide, 40 to 50 long. If you do yours for Boggy Creek and you do that pattern, if you want to do squares, Jaxie is designing a square that you can make 40 by 40 that uses Nan's pattern, and it's really, really pretty. I love it. And I'm deciding, do I want to do squares just like I'm doing for the breast cancer Boggy Creek blanket? You know, the pink and white one, because I'm going to do squares. They're like, by the time you sew them together and put a border on, it'll be 40 by 40. So I'm going to do that, and I'm thinking I might do that with Jaxie's square, but I also want to do the stained glass square that Bag O'Day designed for Boggy Creek per Jaxie. Jaxie asked Crystal to design a square that we could use for Boggy Creek, and within 24 to 48 hours she had a tutorial up for it. I just am so over grateful. I just don't even, there are no words to say, you know, how talented she is. Good golly. And like she was just on it, and just I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much, Crystal. We just can't begin to express our gratitude. So she's not like taking credit for Boggy Creek for that, but apparently that's why she made that square, so that we could use it to make Boggy Creek blankets. So I certainly want to do that, and I have made a video that I'm going to give Nan some time to come out with a video that says, you know, because I want her subscribers that follow the luck at the draw to know where to go. That there's going to be a mini version, because it's just really so much fun to do. So spread the word that we're going to be doing that, and you don't have to make a boggy blanket, obviously, but you can, and that's the purpose of this. So I think don't want to bite off more than I can chew, but I think I want to do both, and hopefully I'm not biting off more than I can chew. So I'm going to use the same colors. I'm just going to put them together differently. That's my plan. We'll see how that goes. So that look forward to that. But we're going to start that on October 5th for sure. It's going to be the first number drawing. So you need 8 colors of yarn plus a main color. So I have 2 main colors, one for the stained glass and one for the not stained glass. To me, making squares seems to go faster. I don't know how tough Crystal's square is going to be. I don't think it's really tough. And there's a tutorial, so if I will do it if I can do it without a lot of grief. You know what I mean? If it's going to be a tough tutorial, usually Crystal stuff is so easy to pick up on. So I don't think I'm going to have a problem with it, but it looks tricky. And that's probably, you know, when something looks tricky but it's simple, that's a great kudos to the designer, right? And I think Crystal is that good of a designer. So we're going to try that, and I've picked out the yarn for that. And I still have my granddaughter's blankets to make. Squares everywhere. Squares. I'm into squares. I guess really bad. I do enjoy making squares though, because it's quick, instant gratification. So I have one of the girls' bags done without any lining to it. One I need to adjust, and 2 I need to make. And I don't know if I've already made Chloe a blanket, so I don't know if I'm going to make her one. And I do want to do a tutorial. So of the one that I made Chloe before and the one that I have. I promised I would do that, and I will. When my husband is off work, I will have a lot of time for that, a lot more. and Nancy just got a new light and phone holding system for doing tutorials, and oh my god, it looks like it would be so much easier. I need to get one, so I think I want to order that real fast, and then I can put that tutorial, get that tutorial going. So I'm excited about that as well. Then the last thing is, and this is going to have to take priority for a minute, I think. I went shopping, you know, everybody, it's Hobby Lobby dialogue clearance, and I've been calling my Hobby Lobbies, and the one closest to me on Tuesday told me, no, we haven't gotten anything yet. And I called them today, being Thursday, and they said, yeah, we started it, and somebody came in and took most of it. I'm like, was I there? I don't remember being there, but that's the kind of thing I do. You know, I take first come, first serve, right? Great price, you got to buy what you can. The other one said they started doing their clearance, but they didn't have much of it done. And then a third one said they haven't started it yet. They haven't received anything yet. And then there's a couple others that are further away, and I didn't call those. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it into a Hobby Lobby for the clearance sale this time, which is really just distressing me. But the day that I called the one on Monday, and they said they hadn't started it. They had the paperwork, but they hadn't started it yet. They started it now, but only had a little bit of it done. That I was like really tempted to go there today, but I haven't, and I won't. I just don't think I should. I want to, but I'm going to run out of time too. So anyway, I did stop in there on Monday because I thought in the morning I called them and they hadn't started it yet. I thought, well, bye. It was like 7:30 at night when I got there, or 7 o'clock. I thought, oh, they're probably done by now, and I probably get a good pick. They didn't have anything on clearance, but I have a baby shower coming up, and so I did buy some baby shower things. Not that you care about baby shower stuff, but I want to show you this because they were on clearance, but it caught my eye. Oh, a little purple baby rattle, gray baby rattle, elephant baby rattle, and then they had a matching bib and spoon set, also with gray elephants, and a little matching baby hat with gray elephants, and they had a swaddle blanket that is just like a cotton, and it's got the gray and the elephants. And then I also bought a picture frame with the little pictures for the first year, and I thought that's not a bad gift. But I do crochet, and I'm the only one probably that she knows that crochets, because there's not a lot of crochet people that I'm aware of in my family. And I would really like to, I mean, they have the swaddle cloths, but I would really like to make a baby blanket for the baby. It is boy. And I'm thinking I will do, and I picked out some yarn. I wanted to go with the gray theme. Both of these still sealed. Oh, this one has a resealable. Oh, because we've been into this one. We're in this one already. We tried it out. This is, no, did I cover it up? Red Heart Bunches of Hugs. It's 10 ounces, 284 grams, which converts to 678 yards, 620 meters. It's real pretty. It's called Magical. It does show a really pretty baby blanket on the front. But it looks knitted. Yep, that's definitely knitted. It says to use 6mm needles. I'm assuming, and a 5.5mm hook. But it says it's a 4-weight. And I have this blue, which is gray and white, and then I have it in gray. Now the gray, being not variegated, is called Rain. And it's a 14-ounce ball, 379 grams, 948 yards, 868 meters. So I'm thinking I can get a decent sized blanket out of, I have two of this, two of the variegated and one of this. And I really want to get it on the hook like last night. And I thought I would do that Olga, that looks like a stained glass blanket. Well, you know, we're opening all these blankets for Boggy Creek and you get so many ideas. I love those big, giant, just granny squares. And I thought, well, first I thought, well, maybe I'll do a corner to corner. You know, a few rows of the variegated, a few rows of the gray, a few rows of the variegated, and do that. And then I saw those big granny square blankets, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll do that. And just do like some squares that start with the gray and some squares that start with the variegated, and work them, you know, a few rows and then a few rows. So maybe I'll do that. But the Olga blanket is, I think it's a kaleidoscope or something she called it. It was real popular last year when it came out. Everybody was making those blankets, and they're beautiful, and I've made one. And I think it worked up rather quickly, as I recall. And it doesn't have as many holes like a granny square would have, you know, for little fingers and toes. But I'm thinking if they wrapped the swaddle the baby in the gray elephant and then put this on as a warm, you know, to keep them warm in the winter, we wouldn't have to worry about fingers and toes going through so much. So I'm kind of like loving that idea. We'll see. And so I think that I'm just going to do the grannies, and just work my way out from the little granny squares. And then you have to decide, okay, do you want to do big grannies or little grannies? The bigger they are, the less sewing together. Maybe one big granny. I don't know, I have to get it on the hook and see how it turns out. But that's my project for now. I'm going to take that to the camper with me. This weekend is close-up weekend, and so there will be a lot of work to do and not a lot of crochet time, but that would be a brainless project, you know, which would be the perfect kind of project to have at the camper this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to being able to have real brainless projects there, and I don't want to take white. We'll be packing, and, you know, it's going to be a mess, and solid white is not a good idea. And of course, I don't know what the colored squares are going to be for the breast cancer awareness blanket, which I really love this. This is going to be so pretty. Nancy had a great idea. So I think we're all caught up. I know it's been like a minute since I've really had to just sit and chat with you, and I'm like 40 minutes in now. So I appreciate you guys sticking it out if you did. And I appreciate any thumbs up and comments and subscriptions. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I don't know that I will get another, well, I did shop for Boggy Creek in my yarn room, and I took it with me, and that video might come out over the weekend. It's ready to go. I'm just kind of hoping for Nan to do a little intro video, you know, and when she's feeling up to it, she'll do Luck of the Draw again, but we're going to just sneak in this Boggy Creek edition, shortened edition, just for additional blankets, and I think that's I'm so excited about doing doing both. But definitely Jaxie's. I'm going to definitely do that pattern because it'll be, again, pretty brainless, and I love brainless crochet. Don't we all? Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.